There'd always been stories that hadn't seemed right. I hadn't found the way to write them in fiction. And I think it's because they were so real, they didn't deserve that veil. One of the essays I wrote, which was about the gift of a coat, my training officer, Mike Coulter, when I left police work, one of the times we visited together and I had mentioned, we were talking about what I missed. And one of the things I mentioned was the police jacket. And his father was a dispatcher for the police department, Ed Coulter, and was just one of my favorite people. And when Ed died, his son Mike sent me his police jacket, which just still can get me really weepy of what a gift that was. And that coat hangs in my home office. I have a hanger and it's there on the wall. But when that jacket arrived, there was so much emotion around it, I had to write about it. Well, I couldn't even think fiction at that point. But I realized as I was working with the material, well, so what? Mike sent you a coat and it's made you emotional. But it wasn't until I grabbed a hold of the structural device of using the different tags on the coat, because on the large tag, Ed had written his name, had printed his name. Ed was in big block letters, and then Coulter kind of ran off the side of it. And I thought that's the key to it. And these tags, you know, had Workers of America, worker number. And so that allowed me, just having that header in my essay, allowed me to talk about Ed and the jobs that he'd had. This fine quality coat is made of, and it kind of listed the ingredients. Well, you know, there's an irony there. Fine quality coat, okay, it's a police jacket. So these tags and the information on them gave me the access to make this piece more than Mike sent me his dad's coat. It allowed it to become a profile not just of Ed, but it also became a profile of me as a very rookie cop, because I pulled in these funny stories of, like, the very first time I was cut loose to ride on my own. Literally, it was the first day. I was driving back from City Lot when an officer put out a call for help. I knew I was within 10 blocks of that officer. I was on Airline Highway at Old Hammond. Except I didn't know which way to go on Airline Highway. So I've got my red lights on and my siren. I am circling the intersection while I am trying to read in my crisscross map, figure out where I am by the street numbers, which will tell me which way to go on Airline Highway. I do this for 3 minutes, okay? Evidently, they start getting calls from civilians that there's a police car circling the intersection and not going anywhere, you know, just kind of circling and what's going on. And I finally turned my red lights and siren off when other people started responding they were there. I never made it to that call. I didn't know which way to go. Well, Ed Coulter was the dispatcher, and he asked me to call him. So I called him. He says, "Honey, what were you doing out there? We're getting calls from civilians about this police car circling with its red lights and siren going." So this essay became this profile of Ed, who was an amazing man, and it also became kind of these funny stories about me as a rookie, and that's how it came together. Why would I want to fictionalize that?